Today we will be showing you how to use the new MedRec tool to perform medication reconciliation at admission and discharge. Medication errors are common and dangerous, probably even at your own institution. When I was a resident working at the VA, I realized that traditional CPRS is not well organized to perform MedRec. You have to compare medications in the inpatient, outpatient, and non-VA tabs. If the patient has remote medications, you also have to look in VistaWeb. The MedRec tool is designed to help the process by bringing in all of these medications into a single master list. Since the medications are grouped by indication, similar types of medications, such as pain medicines, are listed side by side. Additionally, the tool facilitates performing MedRec as a team, so you don't have to do it all by yourself. This is the home screen for the MedRec tool at admission. I'll take a few seconds to go over how the tool is organized. The medications are ordered alphabetically by indication. These can be customized if needed. Simply type over the old indication if desired. You can also sort the medications alphabetically, by status, or by source. This includes any VA source from around the country. You can see the number of refills remaining and the date the patient last filled the medication to judge compliance. If you roll over the magnifying glass, it will give you a more detailed information on the medication. There are several filtering options that let you view only the medications you are interested in viewing. Supplies are removed by default to help declutter the list. This is your inpatient MedRec team. The team consists of the inpatient medicine team, the inpatient pharmacist, the care coordinator, and your local MedRec expert. You will be working together to make MedRec as safe as possible. Performing MedRec at admission is as easy as using the tool to perform MedRec, ordering your medications in CPRS, and then double-checking your orders. You can open up the MedRec tool by going to the Tools menu of CPRS and clicking on MedRec tool. Step 1 is to determine the source of information for the patient's medications. You will identify your role on the team and where you are getting the medication information from. You will also be prompted to ask the patient if they are taking any non-VA medications. If they are taking non-VA medications not listed in CPRS, you should enter the medications in CPRS, sign them, and click Refresh to bring them into the tool. The next step is to decide if the patient is actually taking the medication. You may select Yes, No, or Not as prescribed. If you want to add notes, you may do so here. These will be displayed when you paste your medication list into CPRS. If there is not a computer at the bedside and you want to print a paper version of the list, you can do so by clicking here. This is the printed version of the list. You can use it as a template for your initial inpatient orders. MedRec is a great learning opportunity for students. You can have them do MedRec steps 1, 2, and even 3. Just make sure you review their work and update the medications appropriately. In step 3, you will decide what you will do with each outpatient medication. You can choose to continue, change, stop, or hold. Warning: I want to make sure you realize that the tool will not change CPRS in any way. If you order or stop a medication on the tool, you will still have to order or stop it in CPRS. Once you have completed steps 1, 2, and 3 and put in your orders into CPRS, you can double-check your work by clicking on the double-check button here. This is the double-check screen. The tool will point out potential errors, such as if you ordered a medication you said you were going to hold. It will also check for unintended dosing discrepancies between the outpatient and inpatient orders. You can fix errors by either moving the medication into the proper column or by correcting the order in CPRS and clicking Refresh. The tool will then calculate a MedRec score. Once you complete MedRec, you can paste your final medication list into your H&P note using the Copy to Clipboard button. When you're ready to discharge the patient, you will use the tool to create your discharge medication list, to double-check your work, and then to print a nice-looking list for the patient. Before you open up the MedRec tab, it is most efficient if you have already ordered any new medications the patient is going to take and discontinued any obsolete orders and signed them in CPRS. On the discharge screen, you will note that the inpatient orders are in red and the outpatient orders are in black. Since the meds are organized by indication, you can see similar types of medications side by side. You should review the medications and determine if any changes were made during the admission. You can see what was done with each medication at admission by looking at the column on the left. You can then label the medications as either new, changed, held, or stopped. You should also review the indications for each medication. These are populated automatically, but if you want to change it for your patient, you may simply type over the old indication. If you need to fix something, like you forgot to order an inpatient medication the patient will go home with, you'll need to go back to CPRS, sign the order, and click on Refresh. When you're done, you should double-check your work by clicking on the double-check button. This is the double-check screen for discharge. It is quite similar to the one you did at admission. You should again review for potential errors in dosing and/or column designation. If you notice a medication is simply in the wrong column, you may move it using the Switch To drop-down menu. This will update the action column in the MedRec tool. However, if you discontinue the medication, please remember to also discontinue it in CPRS. If you notice a dosing discrepancy, you'll need to update the order in CPRS, sign it, and then click Refresh. It can be frustrating when you can't discontinue a remote medication. Through the tool, you can hit this button to generate an email to the remote facility asking them to stop a certain medication. Hitting the button will automatically generate an email that looks like this. This will prompt the outside VA to discontinue the medication. After you are confident your medications are accurate, you can paste the medication list into your discharge summary using the Copy to Clipboard feature here. This is what the medication looks like when you paste it into your discharge document. You can also print out a nice patient-friendly looking version of the medication list by clicking this print button. This is what the patient-friendly version of the medication list looks like. It is broken down into clear categories such as new or stopped. The notes and indications will be the same as what you pasted into your CPRS note. If you do MedRec at admission and discharge using the tool, you might just become a MedRec champion. I want to thank you for using the MedRec tool at admission and discharge. I know it is always a challenge to adopt a new practice. I also want to let you know that the tool can change, so if you have a great idea, just shoot me an email.